Stocks our strategists feel are poised to deliver positive returns are featured now in their top stock picks of the week.
Hey everyone, Brian Hayes here with Zacks Investment Research, and welcome to our top stock picks of the week. This week I'm joined by my colleague Ethan Feller. We've got two exciting picks for you, so let's jump right into the action. My top pick is benefiting from the accelerating transformation driven by AI and data center demand. This company is a global designer and manufacturer of critical digital infrastructure technologies for communication networks and data centers in both commercial and industrial environments. The company I'm referring to is Vertiv Holdings, ticker symbol VRT. So Vertiv boasts an extensive product portfolio spanning thermal systems, liquid cooling, switchgear, busbar, and modular solutions. These are power solutions, and as hyperscalers and enterprises increasingly scale AI deployments to support high performance data centers, Vertiv solutions are gaining traction. To give you an example, Vertiv partners with leading chip maker NVIDIA in a high density reference design that handles extreme power and thermal requirements of NVIDIA's 72 GPU rack scale systems through the use of liquid and air cooling. Apart from NVIDIA, Vertiv has a rich partner base that includes the likes of Ballard Power Systems, Compass Data Centers, and Intel. The company is also powering the iGenius Coliseum Sovereign AI Factory, which is Europe's first sovereign AI supercomputer. But Vertiv's services extend beyond just data centers. Its product and systems for monitoring and controlling digital infrastructure are integral to technologies used for various applications, including e commerce, online banking, file sharing, and online gaming. The company also provides lifecycle management services, predictive analytics, and maintenance services. So, this is a stock that is not only highly ranked by our Zacks rank system, but it's also outperforming the market this year. And as we'll see, Vertiv is firing on all cylinders. So that's a bit about this company's background and services. Let's shift gears a bit and take a look at this stock's industry group. Digging a bit deeper, Vertiv Holdings is part of the Zacks Computers IT Services industry group, which is currently ranked in the top 32% out of approximately 250 industries. Because it is ranked in the top half of all Zacks ranked industries, we expect this group to outperform the market over the next 3 to 6 months. Quantitative research studies suggest that about half of a stock's future price appreciation is due to its industry grouping. In fact, the top 50% of Zacks ranked industries outperforms the bottom 50% by a factor of more than 2 to 1. By targeting stocks contained within leading industries, we can dramatically improve our odds of success. And also note that stocks in this group are relatively undervalued based on traditional valuation metrics, and they're also projected to experience above average earnings growth, which signifies a powerful combination that should lead to higher prices in the future. And moving to our snapshot page here, we can see that Vertiv is a Zacks rank number one strong buy. The AI infrastructure provider has established a healthy track record of beating earnings estimates, as we can see here, with only 2 quarterly misses over the past 5 years. Vertiv has delivered a 14.89% average earnings surprise over the last 4 quarters, so they've been very consistent in terms of beating estimates by a wide margin. Just a few short weeks ago, Vertiv reported third quarter earnings of $1.24 per share, which represented a 24% beat versus the Zacks consensus estimate. Earnings grew 63% from the same period last year. And we can see below here that analysts covering Vertiv are mainly in agreement in terms of raising earnings estimates, and they've really been doing it across the board here. Estimates for the fourth quarter have been increased by 3.23% in the past 60 days. The Q4 Zacks consensus estimate now stands at $1.28 per share, reflecting potential growth of nearly 30% relative to the year ago period. Revenues in the fourth quarter are projected to climb more than 22% to 2.86 billion, and the stock price has really reflected the fundamental growth. VRT stock is up nearly 200% off the April lows. And notice this trend of steady higher highs and higher lows, leading to sustained outperformance and rising moving averages. Between the strong fundamentals and appealing technicals, these are exactly the types of trends we want to look for when narrowing down our list of potential stocks. So, Vertiv Holdings, ticker symbol VRT, is my top pick of the week. Shares have really come on strong as the market returns to all time highs. I see more upside ahead for this stock. Wishing you all a wonderful holiday season. And next up, Ethan will share with you his other top pick of the week.
Thank you, Brian. Hope you all enjoyed your holiday weekend. I'm Ethan Feller, stock strategist here at Zacks, and today I'm going to share with you my top stock pick of the week. I'm going to be going with the stock Coherent Corporation, which goes by the ticker COHR. So Coherent Corporation is a really interesting company, and they're emerging as a really important player in AI. It's been a very recent development. So basically, they're a global leader in lasers, optics, and photonic components. They're used across industrial manufacturing, data centers, semiconductors, aerospace, and life sciences. So it's one of the most vertically integrated photonic suppliers. They specialize in raw optical materials, precision optical components, high-powered lasers, and full photonic engines. And like I said, these materials are becoming increasingly important to the development of these premier semiconductors and the data centers in the AI industry. And throughout the AI boom, we've seen sort of various subsectors that are adjacent industries rise and cool off. Most recently, in the past few months, we saw high bandwidth memory companies, most notably Micron, go on huge runs as investors came to realize how important a player like high bandwidth memory would play. And most recently, investor attention has shifted to lasers, optics, and photonic components. So very recently, hyperscalers and the guys running the data centers for the AI boom started shifting the architecture of the data centers. So instead of copper interconnects, they started using silicon and photonics-based networking. And because of that, Coherent has become an extremely attractive player. Because the model sizes and the GPU clusters are so large, traditional copper links, which were used in the data centers and semiconductors, aren't able to move data fast enough, or efficiently enough. So that's why they started to shift to these photonic integrated circuits. Basically, they use photons and light instead of electrons to transmit and process data. And unlike traditional electronic semiconductors that use electrons, photonic semiconductors are faster, they're more efficient, and they can do more high bandwidth data transmission because light is able to carry information more quickly and with less signal loss. So this transition is driving an explosive demand for lasers, photonic engines, and high-speed optical interconnects. And, if you've been paying attention, last month, November was a pretty brutal month in the market. There was a lot of volatility. A lot of the former leaders, within the AI sector sold off pretty hard. And Coherent and some of the other photonics leaders really held up well during that sell-off, even better than the other AI leaders like NVIDIA, and much better than the more speculative parts of the AI industry. And as the market has bounced back, Coherent has really led the way higher. And the company really has a lot going for it. So as you can see, it's got a Zacks rank 2, which is it gets obviously because of analyst upgrades. We can see the analyst forecasts here. You can see they have all the analysts covering the stock have unanimously upgraded their earnings estimates for the company. Current quarter estimates have jumped by 8%. Next quarter is up by 9.5%. The current year it has increased by almost 10% over the last 30 days. And next year, earnings estimates have risen by 4%. And the company has, because of this important role it's going to play in the ongoing AI and data center build out, it's got some really steady sales growth forecast as well. So sales are expected to grow 15% this year and 14.5% next year. And, as you'll see, those are probably conservative estimates. I mean, this is going to be a really important factor in the AI data center build out. And you can see that generally the company is conservative and analysts are conservative with their estimates. You can see the company has missed earnings estimates only one time since the start of 2021, which is, always an encouraging thing. And yeah, the long-term forecasts for earnings are really strong. Their earnings are expected to grow 25.6% annually over the next 3 to 5 years. And the company is trading at a fairly reasonable, it's not excessive, it's not cheap, 32.7 times forward earnings. They've got really strong forecasts in their profit growth. It's very high tech. They've got, what some people might call a moat in the industry. I mean, they're probably the leading company in photonics. And yeah, so they have, a relatively high, but not excessively high valuation. And, as we'll see, as I'll show you in the chart, they've got a lot of momentum behind them too, and a lot of relative strength. So here in the chart, you can see that Coherent has had a really good year. Stock is up something like 50% this year. And it's tripled basically from the April lows, from $50 to $161 now. And you can see that this sell-off from 160 something to 130 something, that was that volatility that we saw through the month of November. But again, some of those other, like I said, more speculative players, not necessarily, I mean, you can see NVIDIA has even sold off a bit and it hasn't really quite recovered. You can see something more speculative like CoreWeave, right? These are like the outsourced cloud and data center providers. This one, it's gotten killed. It's sold off hard. It sold off, it had a run off the IPO and sold off a bit, but you can see November was really not kind to the stock, and it really, maybe it starts to bounce back now, but Coherent, is showing real relative strength. Another player in the photonics space is Lumentum Holdings. This stock has been on a crazy run. I'm sort of, I didn't share this one just because it's on such a powerful run, and it's gone up so much. I wouldn't really recommend buying it right at these highs, but Coherent kind of has a more appealing setup. Its valuation is quite reasonable, and you can see there's this technical pattern building here, and I think you'll probably see a breakout really soon above this, let's call it 165 level. And if the stock can break out above 165 and hold above this breakout level. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you found this valuable and entertaining. If you want more from Zacks, definitely click the link in the bio or go to zacks.com/promo. And thanks for tuning in.